Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Yin yoga class and meditation. My name is Renelle B, your instructor today. And for our Yin practice, I always encourage you guys to have any type of supportive, either equipment, whether it be blocks, yoga blocks. You can also use a yoga bolster. Bring yourself a blanket, maybe some fuzzy socks, a nice sweater, just so that you're ensured to be comfortable, warm, and cozy. To make this the most enjoyable for you. We're also going to have a 15-minute meditation at the end of class, so just be mindful of that for additional time. So we're going to get started in our yoga class today in a wide-legged child's pose. I really want to focus on our hips today, and I hope that that's beeping stops. I guess someone's car alarm keeps going off. So I'll try to edit that out. Knees go out wide today, toes together, and just reach the arms forward, coming into a wide-legged child's pose here. And start to settle onto your mat, letting go of your day, making space for your practice today on the mat. Start to soften the body down, slow everything down. And in our Yin practice, we'll be holding poses a bit longer than any other type of flow class. And so your job today is really just to melt down, to let go, to practice equanimity, which is non-judgment, not judging anything as good or bad, but just being equanimous with anything that comes up, acknowledging, not bypassing any emotions or experiences or anything like that. But if you do experience any sharp pains at all, then that's your cue to maybe ease out of the pose slightly, making sure that you're not hyperextending at any point in time, and always keeping micro bends in the body. And so with this in mind, you can now start to let go, drop it onto your mat. Together, we're slowly going to start to deepen our breath now. Throughout your yoga practice, I encourage you to draw forward a nice deep belly breath, counting upwards to 5 or 6 counts on the inhale, and making the exhale slightly longer by a count or 2. Always breathing in through the nose. So on your next exhale, slowly slow everything down. And on your next inhale, expand your belly out towards the mat, starting to deepen your breath. And I want you to imagine as though you're trying to blow up an air balloon in your abdominal space. And allow that breath to move up the rib cage towards the collarbone, expanding wide. Breathing into the sides of the ribs, and then slowly exhaling everything down, softening the chest down first, and then moving your breath down the rib cage towards the belly, and soften the belly button towards the spine, letting go of all the air. Hold at the end of the breath, and then continue with this deep belly breath on your own, expanding the belly out, moving the breath up the rib cage, being sure to pause at the top of the inhale before you exhale everything out. And just noticing how your child's pose is feeling today. Noticing where you're holding tension in this pose, and see if you can start to soften those areas with the help of your breath. Soften the hips, the glutes, soften the pelvis and the pelvic floor. For all my ladies out there. Soften the chest down, soften the arms, let them get nice and heavy into the mat. Soften the forehead and the jaw. And it might feel good also to move your forehead from side to side slightly, just massaging that area with the help of your mat. If you'd like, you can now start to set an intention for your practice today. If you want to dedicate your practice to someone or something, you can set that now, drawing forward more meaning for our yin practice today. We're going to take 5 more breaths here in our wide-legged child's pose, really allowing ourselves to melt down. Take one more long, deep breath. And exhale it out. Slowly make your way up into your tabletop position. Knees come under the hips, and we'll just do a few cat-cows just to warm up the spine this morning. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through the arms, gaze up. Exhale, round through the spine, look in towards your belly button and separate your shoulder blades. Inhale, drop the belly, move the chest through the arms, gaze up. Exhale, round through the spine, keeping your arms nice and straight. Separate the shoulder blades. Inhale, drop the belly and gaze up. Exhale, round through the spine. 2 more breaths. Moving nice and slow. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Exhale it out. Inhale back to center. And I'd like you to step your left foot forward here. We're going to hang out in our lizard pose. So you can stay high on your fingertips here like this, or you can come down, or you can use blocks if you'd like, or stacks of books, or you can come down on your forearms. So you want this to be comfortable because we'll be holding this for a little bit. Drawing your knee in towards your chest, and you can step out that left foot off the mat slightly. So wherever you're at, find a comfortable position to lie in for a few moments here. Finding peace amongst the external noise, whether that be in our own minds or around us, in the world around us. Finding that equanimity, that inner peace space. And start to soften through that right hip, through the hip flexor of the right side body, and through the back of that left thigh. Maybe settling in a little bit deeper now that we've worked ourselves into the pose. And then wherever you settle into, find stillness here in this pose. Quiet down the mind. Soften into the body and resist the urge to move or fidget around. We're here for a few breaths, so get comfortable here. See if you can start to soften through the hip a little bit more now. Take about 5 more long, deep breaths here. Slowly start to make your way back up onto your palms. Take one breath here, sending your hips forward. And then slowly with control, send the hips back towards the right heel, lifting the left toes off the mat. And we're going to rest here in our half split, folding over that left leg. Draw your right hip forward, left hip back. And once again, utilize any props that you have to really help yourself find a comfortable positioning, lifting your blocks up if you need that extra height. Doing whatever you need to in order for this to become a passive pose where you can rest and relax. Relax your head and neck, let it fall down. squeeze, making sure that you're drawing that right hip slightly forward, left hip slightly back. And breathe. Maybe start to settle into your pose a little bit more deeply for a few more breaths. Take about 5 more breaths here. Send the hips back slightly more. Slowly start to come out of your pose, bending through that left knee once again. And then send that left knee back. Ooh, big B. And then once again, now we'll send our right foot forward, bending at the knee. And just finding space here. Finding space through the front of that left hip and our hip flexor. working with different heights of your blocks and making sure that your right knee isn't passing your ankle. You can maybe come down a little bit more, and also making sure that your right foot is off the mat slightly. Noticing if one side of the body is a bit tighter than the other. Maybe starting to deepen into this pose a bit more. Take about 5 more long deep breaths here. Slowly start to come out of the pose, and once again we'll send our hips back nice and slow, lifting those right toes off the ground and coming into a positioning where you can hold for a few minutes here, using your blocks, using your props. Settle into your mat, settle into the pose, send that left hip forward, right hip back, and then I want you to lead into this stretch with your belly, just to make sure that you're long through the low back, and then you can round through the upper back. Relax your head and neck. And we'll start to hold our pose, so finding that comfortable positioning. And remembering when we're doing our yin yoga that nothing is permanent. This is something that you learn in Vipassana meditation, that nothing in the material world stays the same. The only constant in this world is change. And so keeping this in mind whenever you're faced with a difficult hold in yoga, or whether you're faced with a difficult aspect in life, whether you're in a tough time or whether the external world is a little irritating at times, remembering that nothing is constant and that every state will change and evolve. And so just finding that inner peace in those difficult moments can really help you move through those periods of life, or through even just holding a specific yoga pose. This is actually helping us strengthen our inner ability to find peace. And so contemplate on this throughout our yoga practice, and think of ways where you can find inner peace in your life. Take about 5 more long deep breaths here, really settling in, really saying you can maybe even sink into the pose a bit more for these final breaths. And then slowly come back up, bring your blocks to the front of the mat, fold into that, bend into that right knee, and then step your knee back. We're going to come onto our long edge of the mat now. And so for this pose, it is a very big, deep hip opening pose. So you'll want to make sure that you double up on your mat. It's also really tense, or it's really hard on the knees, I would say, this pose is. So you're going to basically come as wide as you can on your knees with the knees bent. Let me move my blocks away so you can see. So you're going to spread your knees out nice and wide as they go. And then you want to look back at both of your ankles. And you want to make sure that your knee and your ankle are in alignment. So square off at the knee. On both sides, your toes are pointing down on the mat, so your foot is flat on the toe side of your foot. And then you can use your blocks once again to come down if you have them, otherwise you'll just come down on your forearms. And then start to send your hips towards the heels, and you'll instantly feel a really big stretch throughout the hips. And you're just going to hold this. Again, remember to find equanimity and to remind yourself that nothing is permanent. And at some point, as we stretch here, you'll start to feel a little bit more at ease as you open up. And so relax the head, relax the neck, and send your hips back. And then once you've found that positioning, relax your ankles, relax your feet, relax the calves, the knees, soften the head and neck, relax the shoulders, relax the low back, the glutes, the hips, the inner thighs, the groin. And really focus on softening the areas of the body that are a little bit tight in this area, in this pose. Really see if you can draw forward an opening. So softening through the hips, softening through the glutes, opening up through the pelvic floor, through the groin and hips. Maybe start to send the hips back slightly, a bit more, deepening into the stretch. Softening through the hips once more. Maybe send the hips back slightly more. We're here for about 1 more minute. So focus on taking nice long deep breaths. Continue to soften through the hips. Releasing the tension there, opening up through our root chakra. Take 1 more long deep breath and relax everything out. With as much ease and stealth as you can, slowly make your way back onto your hands. Send the hips forward to the front of the long edge of your mat. And coming out of this pose, you need to be very delicate. So make your way onto your hands nice and slowly. And then without creating much tension in the body, draw one knee in towards the center of your mat and then the other knee. Being sure to work with complete ease. And then come to sit on your mat when you're done coming out of the pose. And we're just going to focus on windshield wiping the knees side to side here. So separate your feet out nice and wide. And from here, just windshield wiper the knees over to the left and hold it there, moving nice and slow. Take a few breaths here. Shut down the eyes. And notice how this feels in the body. Inhale, come back to center nice and slowly once again. And then drop the knees over to the right. Take a few breaths here. Inhale back to center. And you can start to move side to side a little bit more freely now. Holding an area that feels a little tight and tense before coming back up. Take 1 more time going on each side. Then come to sit, and we're going to grab hold of our right leg, first making sure that our left shin is flat and parallel to the front of the mat, and then grab hold of your right leg, just move it side to side here. And then when you're ready, you're going to place your right shin on top of the left, making sure that both shins are parallel to the front of the mat and stacked one on top of the other. From here, bring your hands on your knees, drag your chest forward, lengthen. And then we're going to fold over our legs. So bring your blocks if you have them, or a cushion, and then just slowly move the skin away from your sits bones so you can sit nice and tall. And then slowly start to make your way forward, folding over the legs. Adjusting the position of your blocks, the height. Or if you feel like you can come all the way down, you can even just use your block as a support for your head. And then once again, start to settle into the pose, softening the entire body, starting from the crown of the head, always making your way all the way down to your toes, not skipping any parts of the body. And then with the help of your breath for the next few minutes, focus on softening the areas of the stretch here. So this will be the hips, the glutes, the low back. You'll get some in the sits bones area. And just soften everything down. Maybe start to settle into the pose a little bit more deeply now. Making any adjustments with your blocks to accommodate this deeper stretch. And then once again, softening into your mat. If you'd like, you can settle into the pose a little bit more deeply, one final time. And Once again, working on softening any new tension that may arise as you deepen into the stretch. Slowly make your way back up to sit. And we'll unravel our legs, making sure that you're moving with ease. Once again, drawing and lifting that right foot over to the side. Your hands come behind you, lift that left leg out to the side, and again, windshield wiper the knees side to side. Moving nice and slowly. When you're ready, come back to sit, and we'll work on the other side. So this time our right shin comes down first. Grab hold of your left foot and knee, and you can move it side to side. And then place it on top of that left, or on top of the right shin. Move the skin away from your sits bones once more. Hands come on the knees, draw your chest forward through the arms, and then slowly come down onto your mat. Once again, making any adjustments that are required, using any props that you have available, whether it be a cushion or books or your block or bolster, and just find a comfortable position to rest in. Like at this time, you can start to settle in maybe a little deeper into the pose, adjusting the blocks if you need. settling into the pose one last time. Take 5 more long, deep breaths here. Slowly start to come out of the pose, moving your blocks away. And once again, grabbing hold of that left leg, lifting it up and shifting it side to side. And then moving it over to the left. Moving your right leg to the right, separating your knees out wide, hands come behind you, and we're going to windshield wiper our knees one final time. Holding on one side before moving to the next, just allowing the blood to move into the hips. Making sure that you're moving nice and slowly as to not create any additional tension in the body. And maybe starting to awaken the hips a little bit more by moving a bit more quickly on each side. Then when you're ready, you'll come to sit, and we're going to get started on our meditation. So you can find whatever positioning you prefer. If you want to use a block or stacks of books and place them under your hips, you're welcome to do that. Bringing a block under the hips really just allows you to open up and sit a little bit more freely. So you can either sit cross-legged like this on a block, or the alternative is to come onto your knees, place the block on the lowest level, on the long side. You'll just sit back like this, placing the block underneath the hips. And then your hands can either be placed down or palms facing up, whatever feels best for you and your body. If you want to be a little bit more receptive in your meditation, you'll place your palms up. A little bit more grounding, you'll place your palms down, and then draw the shoulders up and back. Take a moment to find your spine alignment, feeling you into your spine, making sure that your head is stacked directly above the spine. So maybe oftentimes we just need to bring our head back slightly and lift the crown of the head slightly. And allow your elbows to get heavy, wrists and arms to get heavy. A lot of car alarms going off today. If you can work through the external sounds, then you know you're getting really deep into your meditation practice. And so close down the eyes if they're not already. Start to focus your awareness on your natural breath now, so we're no longer controlling the breath in any way. We're just allowing ourselves to flow, become aware of how the breath feels in the body. And eventually you'll start to notice that your body breathes with the breath. So the energy body starts to merge with your breath. And the quieter you can become internally, focusing your awareness just on the natural breath itself, maybe you'll start to actually tune into that energy body. And it might start to feel like tingling or pins and needles in specific areas of the body. Or maybe at some point you can actually feel kind of like a wave of energy, a pulse moving up and down the spine with the breath. Soften the areas of the face, soften your entire body down into the mat, grounding yourself down as you do this. For your meditation today, see if you can quiet down the mind and just bring your awareness on your breath. Anytime you feel yourself wandering off through different thoughts or drawing your attention away from the breath, just bring it back onto the breath, training your mind to focus upon the breath and one thing at a time. And then just notice if by focusing on the breath, if you can feel into the body a bit more, into your energy body a bit more. Again, practicing equanimity, regardless if you feel into this energy body or not. Just remaining still and present. As you quiet down, maybe you can start to become as aware of your body, an energy body, but maybe your energy body starts to reach out. Maybe you can begin feeling the environment around you, noticing everything about your environment, and kind of merging with it in some way. Becoming so still and present within your own body, within your own energy body, that you can start to feel the environment around you. keeping this peace and tranquility that we've developed in our bodies. Begin to open your heart chakra. And you can use a visualization I like, which is imagining a beautiful yellow rosebud tightly closed at the center of your chest, which is merged with your heart center. And as you start to bring your focus and awareness onto the rosebud in the center of your chest, it slowly starts to open up, revealing a beautiful, bright yellow rose. And as it spirals open, maybe you start to feel your heart chakra spinning open front and back of the chest. And just be present with these loving emotions that start to spiral into your space. Maybe they bring forward a smile on the lips. And notice how tuning into these beautiful emotions that you've created in your body from scratch start to amplify in your space as you draw present awareness to them. And it's that presence that magnifies these emotions, and the acknowledgement that these emotions are present within you. They start to amplify. Maybe you start to feel the energy wrapping you like an egg around your entire auric field, your energy body, and expanding this beautiful egg wider and wider into your space, cultivating more and more energy, energizing each cell of your body as you do this. You can even feel as though your energy body is creating kind of like a cobweb all around you, reaching a little nervous system that extends past your physical body into this auric egg, or this energy body, or the auric field all around you. And as you amplify these energies, these energetic kind of neural pathways start to expand further out. And see if you can expand this energy field as wide as possible. When you're ready, slowly start to ground this energy back into your body. Start to feel into your body once again, drawing all this energy into your space, closing up your energetic body. And you can imagine as though a zipper on the front of your chest. And if you like, you can do the motion of zipping your body back down, zipping your auric field, starting from the crown of your head and pulling that zipper shut all the way down, keeping your energy body safe and protected. You can bring your hands together in front of the heart and just bow your chin in towards your chest, taking a moment to thank yourself for taking care of your health and wellness today. And then you can bring your hands palms onto your chest, around your heart, and just take a moment to send gratitude to your heart. And if you'd like, you can then place your hands out, palms facing away from the body, and you can send loving energy out to any friends, family, or people around the world. Remembering that we're always connected, and this action of placing your palms away actually also separates any energetic ties that have been formed during our meditation, sending that back out. And so you are all connected within yourselves, within the unity of everything, but your energetic body is safe and protected. And then when you're ready, we'll join the knuckles of the thumbs to the forehead, and together we bow forward to say namaste. Wonderful, everyone. I hope that you've enjoyed our yin yoga practice, as well as our added meditation at the end there. As always, I'm sending you all so much love and light your way, and I look forward to having you guys back in class starting on Monday. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Enjoy the weekend, and all my love and light your way. Ciao for now. Bye.